On today's episode of Stuck in Beta, we'll be talking about, back to school week, the well-spent and center ice breweries, PayPal hack, Cardinals, do they have a chance? Lay's chips, we're counting down, or we're doing the countdown to see which is the best of the flavored chips, and much more on this episode of Stuck in Beta. Hey, welcome to Stuck in Beta. I'm Greg.
And I'm Josh.
Hey, just want to make a note. Hey, Denny, the owner of Main and Mill is watching.
Oh, hey, Denny.
And we just tried his beer.
Yeah,
actually
cool.
Enjoying it.
Awesome.
Good stuff. I still have some Carpathian. I haven't opened yet.
Oh, man. Gosh, you're killing me with that. I have never tried that beer.
I know. Well, I really want to try it, but I'm saving it for a little bit of the cooler months when
That's right. Yeah.
When I think it'll be a little bit better.
Special occasion.
Yes, exactly. So, go to stuckinbetapodcast.com for our info on our podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. So what have you been up to, Greg?
Well, we actually did something. We went to a couple breweries this weekend.
Yeah, we did.
Went to Center. Well, first we went to Well-Spent Brewing or Well-Spent Brewery. Some have brewing, some have brewery.
You keep talking, I'll look it up.
Anyway, we went there. You had suggested it. I guess a couple people that you work with actually suggested it, said it's a great place to go. So we went there. It's actually by near Pappy's Barbecue in St. Louis, Pappy's Smokehouse, I guess.
Yep. On Olive Street.
Yeah, on Olive in St. Louis, and it's a nice little place. Most breweries are starting to look the same. They got the brick, and the
kind of a.
But hey, it's fine.
Yeah.
The wooden brick always looks good. They went a little black and white motif, so it's a little bit different. But nice little place. We tried. Well, did you get a flight there, or did?
No, they didn't offer flights. They have, let's see, they had different size pours depending on the beer. They had, I think, some 6-ounce pours, some 8-ounce pours, and then they let you just sample whatever, all of them.
Right.
So we just had like a little small samplings of pretty much every beer that was on tap. And they kind of specialize, I think, in more of, so it's flavorful Belgian ales and barrel-aged sour beers. So a lot of...
I don't think they had an IPA on tap, did
they? Mm-mm.
Which, that's kind of... It's become a little too popular, in my opinion. It's not that IPAs are bad. I enjoy IPAs, but... You've had one. They start to all
kind of blends, yeah.
Yeah, they all start to be the same.
So a couple of guys that I work with had recommended this. One guy in particular, he grows his own hops, and he has quite a variety of hops, and he gets a pretty good yield. So he had, several pounds that I believe they were Cascade hops, that he donated to Well-Spent a while back, and they gave him a couple growlers, I believe, and maybe some other swag of some sort. So he had been recommending, or he told me that I should check it out, and that's why we went up there. But it's, downtown St. Louis, about 35 miles or so north of here.
Yeah.
Give or take.
Yeah.
We don't, I get up there almost every day because I work there.
But you don't hang out there.
Yeah.
You're like there, and then you come home.
Yeah, exactly. So this part of town I was kind of, I guess, somewhat familiar with, but I don't know. I still get a little leery being in the city. It was a nice Saturday afternoon, and it was pretty quiet and pretty tame. But the brewery itself was really nice. But I'm not really much of a sour guy, I guess. And
yeah, they had. Was that the one that? Man, I had some. So my family comes from Alsace Lorraine. Well, my ancestors come from Alsace Lorraine, which is a region in France, and it no longer exists. I guess the region's still there, but it's not. It's not an actual country anymore.
Yeah.
But they had a beer there that was actually based off that style, and I tried that, and it was interesting. I wouldn't say it was my favorite, but it just had a interesting taste. It was more like man, I almost want to say like a porter and a wine mixed together or something. It had like a strong I don't know. I was gonna say I enjoyed it, but it was okay.
So that one was called Mars Rover.
Yeah,
and
it was bright red too.
Yeah, brewed in early winter with a fresh crop of malt and allowed to lager over the winter. Yeah, that was pretty good. The one beer that a lot of people recommended, and actually whenever we were standing in line, there was a couple of folks at the bar that were like, "You really got to try the Dad Jorts," and that's the one that isn't actually an IPA. It's considered a farmhouse IPA.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And that's the one that you had first.
And it was good.
It was good.
I wasn't. It was just good. It was good.
Yeah. And that's kind of how I felt about most of their beers.
Yeah.
That they were good.
They were good. I'd go there again, but nothing really stood out.
Yeah.
Well, Lori had a porter that I really enjoyed, but
there was a stout that they didn't have. They had just ran out of. We were a little disappointed by that.
But after that, we walked down the street to Center Ice Brewing because it was right there. We're like, well, hell, it's
it's like
3 blocks,
if that. Yeah, very close.
And we had never been to Center Ice.
I'd never even heard of it, I don't think. And was it you looked it up? You found that it was so close.
Molly told me, she says, "Isn't Center Ice down there?" I go, "I don't know. I've heard, Center Ice I've heard of, but I never really had it." They kind of hockey theme. They have all their taps have
hockey sticks.
Hockey sticks as the handles and all that.
Yeah.
But I had some really good ones and some that didn't really enjoy there. I think my favorite was their brown.
Yeah, that brown was awesome.
Midtown Brown. It was really good.
6.5 ABV. That was one of the strongest browns that I feel like I've had.
Yeah.
It had the most flavor. I highly recommend trying that beer. That really stood out to me. And then something else that was kind of unique was that Mayfield's Milkshake IPA. I don't think I've ever had a beer of that.
We may
variety.
have had a milkshake IPA before, but man, we've tried a lot of beers.
We have, but for whatever reason, and maybe I've only come across it one other time, but I really enjoyed that beer. So we had a couple flights from Center Ice, and I think I liked their style of beers more than
Well Spent. Yeah, I think I like them a little better too.
Something that was interesting, and Molly was kind of telling you, I think, was the guy who started the brewery. He used to work for the same bank she does. And he had, I was kind of, this was after the fact, but I was looking on their website, and he has a bunch of YouTube videos on here. And I started kind of scrolling through them the other day and watching some of the videos. He'd actually did like a daily vlog series while he was through the entire process of when he started the brewery, from basically, kind of starting the idea. He kind of got into home brewing. He had videos on that all the way through, and it happened relatively quickly, probably like less than 2 years. He went from kind of home brewing to opening this brewery and quitting his job and signing the lease and all these things that went into it. It's kind of cool, but he got to a point where, and this is something that I don't know if Denny's still watching, but obviously he knows a lot about, is the hours that he was putting in. He got to the point where he basically stopped doing the daily vlogs because just the editing of videos was something that he could no longer handle in his day. He was saying, today I was at the brewery at 6 a.m. and I had meeting after meeting after meeting, met with this vendor, met with that vendor, and then we started all this other stuff, and then I'm just now getting home. It's 9:30 at night, so he was there for...
And that's the end of this
yeah,
video.
He was like, I can't do that. I can't do these vlogs anymore. So yeah, just the amount of hours and dedication that goes into that, it's unbelievable. And then he doesn't even have it. There's not even a restaurant there. That's just a brewery.
No, nothing. Neither one of them, but they're located next to Pappy's and Southern, so they have. I mean, you have some good restaurants next to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, what else did you do?
Well, yeah, we've been kind of consumed. My kids are back to school this week. Tomorrow actually is their first day back, and it's kind of it's kind of bittersweet, I guess, in a way. My youngest already is starting junior high.
Oh yeah, Logan is too. 7th grade. Man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's the worst.
So
I hated 7th grade.
I hope that he's going to do pretty well. We went yesterday to open house and walked through all of his classes and all of that, and I think he's going to do fine. He's got a couple of his friends in pretty much every class, which I think could be good and bad. But yeah, and then Lexi's starting her second semester in college. Caleb's starting his last semester for high school.
Jeez.
And then Eli's going to be a sophomore. So man, it's crazy. My kids are like, I'm just about grown up.
And I'm just starting with my kids.
I know. Lori and I were talking. We're like, man, just different ends of the spectrum here.
Yep.
Landon will be graduating high school, and Millie will be going to kindergarten pretty much the same year. So, yeah. And then on a bit of a side note, but I was thinking too, it's like 7th grade again. That's when you and I met.
Yeah. Yep.
Like going on 30 years ago.
No, it wasn't that long.
Yeah, I mean 20 years ago.
Yeah, more like 10 years ago.
Sometimes it feels like that, It's like I feel like I am somewhat in the same age as my oldest kids in a way, because I don't feel like I've changed I've grown and matured and learned a lot. Obviously taking on a whole lot of responsibility, but
I haven't grown that much.
You kind of feel like you're almost still that same person in a way that you were like around that late teens, early 20s, mid 20s, whatever. It's just, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, in your mind, you're still you're
still
age.
Young, yeah.
Speaking of thinking that I'm still young, I played softball last night.
Oh man, how's that going for you?
So our first it's doubleheader league. The first 2 games were both rained out, or first 2 days that we were supposed to have games were rained out. This was supposed to be the 3rd week, so this ended up being our first week playing. And I tell you what, I need to hit the batting cage.
I thought you didn't have any problem with your timing.
Well,
is it?
No, I'm not. I hit the ball. It just doesn't really go anywhere. So let's just say, maybe we just played a team that smoked the ball. I mean, you've been to Wolves in Peevely.
Yep.
It's a
softball haven.
Yeah. Well, they have a little fence out there where this team we were playing were just smoking it over the fence every time.
Is that a ground rule double?
Well, it's a home run until you do it too many times, and then it becomes an out. Which I really didn't get the rule.
What's too many?
I guess after you lose 2 balls. You lose 2 balls.
No kidding?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Huh.
And I didn't really get... There were a lot of things like... so 2 of the fields are pretty close together, so if it's a foul ball, and even if he kept the like the outfielder catches it, but you're on the other person's field, it's out of play.
So it doesn't count as an out?
It just counts as a foul ball.
Huh.
I don't know. So my biggest, so I got hit, running to third. I got hit with the ball in the back of the leg. And when I was, my last at bat, I swung, hit the ball, and fell.
Oh, man.
I fell. I slid and fell.
Do you have cleats?
I do somewhere, but I wasn't wearing them.
You're not wearing them, so that I'd blame it on that.
And then I ran to, of course, at that point when I got up and ran, it was too late. So
stop laughing at me.
No one did, but I don't know. I just felt myself going like, this sucks. I just feel like a total embarrassment, but I don't know. So that was fun.
I remember one time, speaking of softball leagues, I played for a friend of mine. I kind of filled in. This is probably back in my early 20s. Filled in for a church league softball.
Oh yeah.
And I just remember being like, at that point in time, I was still like super, aggressive and really competitive and really trying to win. And I did something stupid, like I swung and missed at a pitch. And I just remember, where's the beep button?
Swung for the fences, huh?
Well, where's your beep button? I can't find it now. But yeah, it was like a lot of expletives flying. And I'm like, oh, wait, I'm in a church league softball.
That is something that I have stopped doing, though. That, like, I would, when I mess up, bleep. I just, everyone messes up, What are you going to do?
That's good.
But
self-control.
Yeah.
You have grown. You've grown up.
I guess. Maybe.
Do you want to talk about that PayPal thing real quick?
Speaking of expletive, Monday, I looked in my bank account and noticed that $698 or $689 have vanished from my account. And I look, it came from PayPal. So I look into my PayPal. It turns out someone got into my PayPal account. I guess then they changed the password because when I tried to get into it, I couldn't get into it because the password was changed. So when I got into it, I saw that the chart, and it was a OnePlus phone, which actually is a really good phone. But someone ordered it, and it was using euros, so the euro and they added like about 4 or 5 different addresses to my account, and this phone was being shipped to somewhere in France. So
wow. So you bought somebody a phone, huh?
I don't know if it's shipped or not, but because I disputed it Monday morning, and this morning that they said, okay, we see that this is not you, and they released the money back to me.
Oh, cool.
It hasn't shown up in my bank account. I see that it's pending, but it hasn't really ended up in my account yet. But I'm glad that that's over. But man, my password, I had 10 characters long. It wasn't a word in the dictionary, and it had numbers and symbols. I mean, it was a pretty strong password. Since then, I've changed it to a 20-character password.
Jeez.
And I've turned on a two-factor authentication. So anytime you log in, I get a text to my phone, and I have to punch in a number. So I can't get into PayPal anymore without that two-factor authentication. Yeah. So if someone were to get into my account, I'd see a text.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
So anyone out there, you may want to turn on that two-factor authentication on your PayPal.
And that's just like a checking a box or something in PayPal, or
in your settings you could you can add that.
That's crazy because I mean that's a huge chunk of money. Like I mean, a lot of people wouldn't have that much money available in their checking account, you know, at all times. I mean, like us, for example, there's a lot of times where
I barely had enough.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we'll have money in our savings account, but we don't have it linked up to where if it goes below zero,
Right.
it'll transfer over or anything like that. And I mean, you could be in a situation where it could go negative, and then you're hit with, you know, bounce checks or whatever, you know, things that might automatically withdraw or whatever, and then you got like insufficient funds fees and
Yeah, I know. Well, I disputed it with PayPal, and then I went to my bank, well, the credit union, and told them about it, and they're like, well, there's nothing we can do. They're like, you already disputed it. We can't dispute it again. And they even said PayPal's a weird one. We can't always do anything. So they're like, you disputed it, and they knew about it, so if my account were to go over, it wouldn't be my fault. You know, they'd be able to waive those charges.
crazy.
So, yeah, fun times. Hey, are we drinking more of this, or should I get a different beer? You saving? If
I was
you
going
want
to save it.
that's
yeah,
fine.
I was going
I'll
to
get
take it
another
home
beer.
for Lori. Get another beer. So it looks like we both have topics on here that deal with appliance repair. And I was going to throw this question out to you. First, I'll kind of give you the breakdown on a situation that happened with our clothes dryer. So suddenly, like, I don't know, about a week or so ago, the dryer stopped heating. It was tumbling and spinning, and everything seemed to be working just fine, but it wasn't heating up. And then, so Lori had noticed it because, you know, the time had expired or whatever, and she pulled the clothes out and they're still wet. So she threw them back in there, and then it dried, and then so it was kind of going back and forth where one cycle would dry, the next cycle wouldn't. And so I started kind of tinkering around with it a little bit and watching some YouTube videos, trying to figure out what the cause could be. Well, it kind of got to the point where I didn't really have the time to keep screwing around with it. So I was like, she started looking up online, and on Lowe's she saw that you could get a new dryer for like $400, $450. And so I was like, you know, I'm tired of dealing with this stupid thing. And by the way, I was trying to move it around and I sliced my finger open.
Ouch.
So, you know, I was like, I rather than call a repairman, which could potentially be, you know, a couple $100 once they come and diagnose it and get the part and everything else. And then the other option is that I keep on, you know, trying to tinker around with it and, you know, figure out if it's like a sensor that's gone bad or some circuitry issue or something.
Right.
I'm like, I'm just going to buy a new one, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not old. That's what's frustrating is it's only, I don't know, maybe 5 years old, I would say, approximately.
Yeah. I mean, a dryer can, well, dryers are a little different, though, because I know as far as dryers go, we had to get a different dryer because my washer was fine, the dryer was bad. So, and it was one of those things, like you say, once you futz around with it and get it working, you might as well just get another one at that point, because that's something that you can probably get a good warranty with too.
Yeah, but I mean, mine was definitely well beyond probably any warranty
true
stage. But I guess I feel like it's frustrating on the one hand because it's kind of just a disposable item.
Right.
You know, so but the other thing is, it's like, okay, I can go to Lowe's, get pretty much the exact same model. It was like $400, $450, whatever, plus $20 for them to haul the old one away, which sounds stupid that you have to pay for that, but what are you going to do with it anyway?
You can take it up yourself and just dump it in the back
At Lowe's?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
That's what I did with our old dryer.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's kind of I found through this process, and there's been other things too, but I'm trying to get better, I think, at not wasting a bunch of time on something, because in the past when, you know, I had problems with a washing machine or whatever, it was like I'll do whatever I can to mend it and kind of fix the problem and hopefully get some more time out of it. But and I mean, we have videos out there on our How to Fix a Workshop channel on us repairing appliances and repairing all kinds of things like that.
Well,
but sometimes it just doesn't make sense.
Well, in my case, it would make sense because, well, you saw what happened last week. I noticed my keyser.
Right. That's a different situation.
That's been sitting around. It's been working for the last 3 years or so, but I just recently turned it into a keyser.
Yeah.
With the taps and everything. So it's got a collar sealed to it. I mean, it's... So I can't really just get a new freezer.
Right.
But I did look at some people online. So what happened? It stopped cooling. Oh, that's what happened. So, and it happened after a power surge. And a lot of people online are saying that they have similar problems. There's capacitors in there. It could be something like that. It could be, which that's a problem I just had with my AC unit. So I'm just going to have to look into it, see if tinker with it, see if my multimeter, if the compressor is actually getting power and all that. And so
and that's one of the things that, so as I was tinkering around with the dryer, all the videos I was watching was like, take your multimeter and test this and that. I don't know how to use a multimeter. I bought one on your brother's recommendation because I was trying to figure out something at one of my rental houses, and he was telling me to go out and get this and check that. I blew the damn thing up the first time I used it.
Oh, yeah?
And I call him up, I'm like, Jeff, it's not working. And he's like, oh, you blew the fuse, didn't you? There's a fuse inside it, I guess. And I had it set wrong. So I've never learned how to use one. It's something I want to learn how to do. But I was like, I got to learn how to use this tool, right? I got to buy the tool, learn how to use the tool, and then take the dryer apart. And I was like, screw it, I'm just going to buy a new dryer.
Well, when I went to school, I got one when I was going to school, and then they taught you a few things, but like the capacitor thing, I had to, he told me how to, well, there's actually a capacitor setting to test capacitors, so, but,
that's cool.
Yeah. So, you want to get into, the chips?
Yeah, I guess, we have to separate them out,
the brackets?
So, just a recap. And look at this little fancy bracket
you made a
here.
bracket system.
Yeah, I don't know if we can see that on the video or not. It's
here,
not
wait,
I'll
flip to the other camera. Maybe it's see it. Hold on.
We have 12 entries, right? I think is what we counted. So a 12-team single elimination. Last week we had.
We're gonna add them to. Okay, I see what you did there.
Yeah,
okay. That'll work.
I just threw this together this afternoon at like.
Wait a minute, aren't we missing?
I don't have them all listed on here yet.
Okay.
So the way I have it is last week we had the bacon wrapped, we had the fried pickles. Those went head to head, and we all three agreed that. We all three agreed that we preferred the bacon wrapped. And then we paired the pimento cheese up against the Chesapeake Bay. What was the full name of that one?
Crab spice.
Yeah. And I think, did somebody prefer the pimento cheese? Maybe Josh liked that one a little more. I can't remember. But majority rules, Chesapeake Bay went on.
This will be hard because what if we're toss-up?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We don't have a third party this week.
So we, after the show last week, we went through and paired up, just as a random drawing, paired up flavors together, and we had deep dish pizza versus Thai sweet chili.
Well, I know we were going to do this one this week.
Okay, and ketchup was with West Coast. I have,
which is okay. Those two
West Coast truffle fries. Deep dish pizza versus Thai sweet chili.
All right, those are the four this week that we're gonna do. All right.
So
the only reason I wanted to do ketchup is because it may be it doesn't seem to have air in the bag, so we don't know how long it's gonna last or if it's good.
Yeah. So I'll play the thing.
Cashews, almonds, macadamia nuts, lilac,
All right.
So, want to start with ketchup? Why
Hey,
not?
why not? I don't know. Does ketchup... So here's a trick... Well, is it a trick question? Does ketchup pair with everything? Or are there things that, like this IPA I'm drinking here, I don't know it's going to pair too well with ketchup.
You like paper towels or something?
Got some Kleenex here.
Oh, that'll
Greg.
work. Kleenex.
You always got to have Kleenex in the studio.
Well,
You just never know.
All right. So we had
This
ketchup.
sounds terrible.
Ketchup versus West Coast truffle fries. Now, ketchup, like you say, sounds kind of weird, but then again, what do you do with French fries? You dip them in ketchup.
Yeah, that's true.
So a potato with ketchup shouldn't be so bad, right?
Yeah. You don't have to dip it.
Yeah, no dipping.
Inspired by the flavor that makes everything better, it's no surprise that ketchup is found everywhere from backyards to ballparks.
#1 condiment, right?
That's not bad.
Yeah, at first it kind of got a barbecue. I was
Yeah.
thinking barbecue, but I get it's a little more tangy.
Yeah.
It actually,
I'm actually surprised.
yeah, I actually kind of enjoy these.
I do too. So this is the thins, right? Is that what they call these?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to admit, I kind of like them.
Yeah. So if these move on, we're gonna have to hold on. So
What do we say? Ketchup versus... What we got there?
West Coast truffle fries. These are of the wavy variety. It says inspired by a taste perfected in the West. Parmesan, sea salt, and truffle oil on fresh fries. It's a little SoCal, a little NorCal, and a little holy cow.
Yeehaw!
This may be a tough one because that doesn't sound too bad to me.
No, not at all.
We may have taken, like... See, we kind of randomly picked these, too. We just picked them out of the box, so... These may have been something that we would have taken down to the wire, but... I don't know.
So these look like sour cream and onion.
Yes, I do.
And they kind of taste like that to me.
Kind of, yeah. It's got kind of a garlic and Parmesan.
Oh, yeah, I definitely get the Parmesan now that you said something.
But I don't think there's any garlic in these. I think it was truffle.
I'm okay with that. I'm on the fence with this one.
I am too, man.
I think
'Cause-
it's...
These two could have beaten maybe some of them we had last week.
Chesapeake Bay.
But
Well, I think I'm on the fence about the head-to-head here. Which one I'm going to go with.
yeah, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
okay. I thought you were saying...
I'm saying if these two wouldn't have been randomly picked
Oh,
together,
okay.
man, this is a tough one.
Man, we need a third... we need a third person here, just in case there's a tiebreaker.
Is Molly up there? Well, why don't we move on,
Okay.
and then we'll
Come back.
see if we'll come back to these chips in a minute
Man, dang, that's a tough call.
because those are both good.
Okay. So, next up, Thai sweet chili. This is another thin, or am I saying that right?
They're just a regular Lay's.
Regular Lay's. This
There's
one
regular and wavy.
says, inspired by the food truck scene at the Pacific Northwest, get a taste of Thai sweet chili sauce with a hint of heat. Food lovers rejoice. So these don't have a whole lot of... oh boy, they have quite the aroma.
Smell spicy.
No, spicy.
All right. They got a spicy and sweet thing going on.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, it's different.
Very like got that kind of Asian flavors. Because what is it? Ginger that's got that kind of that flavor. It's like kind of spicy with a little ginger.
Yeah, I agree. I think this has been one of our most unique flavors so far because it doesn't remind me of anything else.
No, but again, I am surprised so far. I'm gonna say all three of these so far have been pretty good. Hey Molly, if you're listening, come down for a minute.
Okay, and then going up head to head with the Thai sweet chili is deep dish pizza. Now this one, I mean, how can you go wrong with pizza?
Well, in chip form,
and it says Giordano's I think that's what it says. Inspired by the Giordano's pizza recipe made famous in the Midwest. Here's a taste of their iconic stuffed deep dish pizza. Legendary cheese pull, anyone?
So, how does a deep dish taste any different? Like the actual flavors of it taste any different than a regular pizza?
I don't think it does.
Okay.
So this is another thin chip.
So,
looks like a barbecue chip.
Yep.
Smells like pizza. Yeah. Now that I don't care for.
That's got a weird taste.
It tastes. Yeah. Isn't there? There's other things out there that are like fake pizza flavor, like what are those pretzels with the?
This tastes like a goldfish cracker with like a goldfish cracker if it had like some sort of dusting of tomato or something. I get that kind of flavor.
Yeah. What are those pretzels called that have like the cheese in the middle? Combos. There's a pepperoni flavor that reminds me of this. Yeah, these aren't great.
It isn't. Yeah, combos are a little bit better though.
Yeah.
This matchup is easy for me.
Yep, I agree.
I'll take the sweet. The Thai sweet
chili wins over the deep dish pizza. So yeah, deep dish pizza. Nah. I mean, if you want pizza flavor, eat pizza. You know.
Right, but if you want ketchup flavor, eat ketchup.
No, I think you had a good point where you said it's kind of like dipping a fry in ketchup.
Right.
That's kind of what it reminded me of. So yeah, no contest there. Now going back to the here comes Molly.
We'll have her decide.
All right. She can try those two and try to be our tiebreaker. So we're both on the fence with these two flavors. Ketchup. We have a ketchup. Ketchup flavor first. Molly's like cringing at the ketchup flavor. And definitely. Oh, that was a no-brainer for her. She definitely enjoyed the West Coast truffle fries. So that'll be our winner.
We're an audio podcast.
So,
I don't know.
There we go.
Well, now, because I was actually going ketchup.
Were you?
I actually think I enjoy the ketchup ones better. So, actually, I guess you're going to be the tiebreaker.
I think I like the truffle fries better.
Okay, majority rules.
Yeah. So, truffle fries goes on.
Truffle fry is moving on. So,
that's fun.
Well, you want to preview what we're doing next? What are the 4 we're doing next week?
Yeah, so next week we will have Cajun Spice.
Yeah.
Versus fried green tomatoes. That's going to be interesting.
Okay.
And then we have chili con queso versus New England
Lobster roll.
Oh.
All right.
And that would be all 12. And so this week we have we had West Coast truffle fries going on and Thai sweet chili, and then we'll start putting these winners head to head.
Yeah, we'll let the. Oh wait, these are these gonna face each other? Or are they gonna? You just gonna put those?
These next 4 will actually go against the winners
Okay.
Of a couple of these categories.
All right.
So
Stay tuned for next week. We're adding those in the mix, and next week are we gonna finish it up or just?
yeah, next week we'll just finish up the 4.
And then we'll finish up the brackets and
Yeah.
find a winner the following week. So,
Oh no, I think we'll have to go. Well, it'll depend. So 12 will get narrowed down to 6, right? Or 8. Let's see. So we started out. I'm confused. We'll just have to see how the bracket works out. This might take us about 3 weeks.
well, whatever it is, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it could even take us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. It might take us 5 weeks, so stay tuned. Everybody's on the edge of their seats. I'm sure of it.
I know
I'm
they
sure
are.
of it.
I know they are. I'm sure of it.
I just said that.
I know.
What else we got?
Man, have you been watching these St. Louis Cardinals?
Man, what the heck?
They've been playing some good ball lately.
I don't have access to watch them, but I have considered maybe signing up for a service.
Oh, don't
jinx it.
You'll jinx it.
Stay away.
Stay away.
It's crazy.
They have been playing some really good ball lately. Although I'm gonna have to say the other day they almost blew the game, but they came back and won. But they are one game out of the wild card race, and they are 4 games out of first place in our division, which
Yeah.
we were like 9.
Oh, gosh.
9 back, 10
Yeah.
back. We are pretty far back, so
Yeah.
we are chipping at it. And it's August right now.
Still plenty of time.
August, September, this is the time. Start getting hot
Yeah.
and win everything. Go home. Ta-da.
I'll be honest. I'm a total fair weather fan, and what your brother used to call a turncoat.
Yeah, but
don't know
no,
what they're-
that's just if you liked one team and then all of a sudden start following, oh, yeah, I'm rooting on them,
Oh, okay. So I'm a fair weather fan because I have had no interest in the Cardinals all year. I don't listen to sports talk radio. Don't follow them on anything. And then I kind of noticed. And then, by the way, I watch Channel 4 News in the morning, and they don't ever touch on sports. I just noticed that. Lori pointed that out after we've been watching it for probably well over a year. But they don't ever do a sports segment on there. And so that's another reason why I guess I haven't kept up with them. But I started hearing, and seeing. I get the daily updates on my phone. And I was like, another win. Today I turned on Sports Talk Radio, and they're talking about it, and they were like going over everyone else's records. Like every other team has done terrible like in the last 6 weeks, and the Cardinals have just been on fire.
Yeah.
But they fired their manager.
Yeah.
Their record is like 19-8 or something like that since they fired him. And they say this new manager, one of the Schultz, yeah.
Yeah.
He has a daily team meeting.
Blog.
Yeah, daily blog where he's like, these Cardinals, I love them. A daily team meeting, which sounds so obvious, but they say, like the reporters and the team, they say that this really doesn't happen anywhere else in baseball. Like, baseball teams don't, generally communicate with each other and, talk to each other on a daily basis. Like, there's, they're segmented. Do you have, pitchers?
It's like almost like a band where it's not like they rehearse anymore. They've been playing forever. They just play their show, go back to their room, and you know.
Well, he was saying that they were saying that there's usually like individual meetings of like pitchers, of infielders have a meeting, outfielders get together, the bullpen, whatever. But this is a true like team meeting, and everybody kind of talks. They go over things that happened yesterday, and it's like almost sounds business-like.
Really, it does.
But
today's meeting.
Yeah, but they say so. I mean, obviously they're winning, so winning cures everything. But they said that it's been very beneficial. So I don't know. It's kind of cool. Kind of neat to have something to.
Yeah, it makes me want to watch Major League.
And you're going to a game soon, aren't you?
No, I went a couple weeks ago.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I'd like to go again, though. They have a couple promotions. 1982 Beer Stein.
Oh,
World
that's cool.
Series Beer Stein. That'd be a pretty cool night to go.
Yeah, it would.
Speaking of sports, did you hear this? Bud Light has actually made in Cleveland. So Cleveland's record has been awful. They didn't win.
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns didn't win a single game last year, and I think they're on a 17-game losing streak.
Really?
And let's see.
Currently 17 games and counting.
I thought it said in this article here. So the last 3 years they went 3-13, 1-15, and last year 0-16. The last time the Browns won a game was December 24th, 2016.
Huh.
And the time before that was December 13th, 2015.
Oh my gosh.
That is awful.
Oh my gosh.
But we've had some losing teams around here.
Yeah.
The Rams weren't too great. They got better. They had that about 99 to about 2004, and then we were back to crap again.
Right.
This is a promotion that Bud Light did in Cleveland. They have these refrigerators all over in different bars all over Cleveland, and they're locked up and they're hooked up to Wi-Fi or whatever. So whenever the Browns actually win a game, this will unlock, and everyone in the place gets a free beer.
There's hundreds of beers in each fridge, it looks like.
Yeah,
they're jam-packed.
Yeah, I don't know how many. Does it say how many?
There's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, at least 4 shelves, and they are just stuffed full of the...
It's a good amount. So if you are in the bar at the time, you're getting a free beer, at least one free beer. And I think that's a pretty good promotion. It doesn't really cost Bud Light that much, and they're testing some sort of new technology that, not that wireless unlocking and locking is something new, but it's kind of a newer technology, which I think is kind of cool.
That is cool. Yeah, it says win. And in parentheses, if the Browns win a game this season.
Could you imagine if they had another losing record?
My gosh. I mean, that would be some old Bud Light.
Well, I think they would have. I thought I read, I don't know, maybe the article says that they have to switch it. If it's another year. It's like drinking Bud Light at my dad's house, where you're like, Dad, this is from 2015. Drink it. It's not bad. You guys are a bunch of wimps.
It's wet, ain't it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's like, what is their born on date? They like always promoted back in the day. It was like, what was it?
110. What? Actually, 110 days. But in the stores, you told me they after 90 days, they take those off the shelf.
Yeah.
Well, real stores that haven't an AB guy come in and stock them. Also, I saw this story that seemed kind of odd. So on the streets of Paris, like public urination is high. there's people peeing on the sidewalks and just out in the alleys and peeing, I guess drunk guys or whatever. And so they started putting open air urinals
Oh my gosh.
out. And it's very it's very odd. They have like this like they're kind of look like planters, but they got like a they got plants coming out of the top, but it's a red thing with where you pee. But I mean, do you
That is bizarre.
it's just
Yeah.
bizarre. Someone, I mean, oh look, there's the Eiffel Tower. Oh, I gotta piss.
I gotta take a leak.
You're just going there, and it's. I mean, I guess it's better. The guy they show there is just like, dude. There's a bunch
Yeah.
of tourists like walking around. He just goes up to it, pops his
junk out.
and takes a leak, and
You're a trotter.
apparently.
What the hell? It has like herbs growing from the top of it?
Yeah, I wouldn't smell anything growing out
Man,
of the top of that.
what? Oh my gosh. This thing doesn't even look like a toilet, really.
Someone's peeing at the top. And
Yeah,
all those
exactly.
flowers.
Exactly.
It seems pretty gross.
Oh man. Yeah, it doesn't even have like a bowl. It's just like a slot that would maybe conceal you a little bit so that you don't see.
Well, I know everyone's gonna see you.
Well, I mean, it's you don't see the guy's personality.
Did you see this? Oh, I guess the sign isn't on. I thought there was a sign.
It said you're a trotter.
Yeah, the picture of the sign shows a guy like a stick figure of a guy.
Oh yeah, and he's like,
peeing. It looks like he's peeing from about 3 feet away into this thing.
yeah, and he's like leaned back. Like who pees like that?
That I don't think that would work around here.
Man, that is weird.
Because
You know, it's funny though. I was talking to a guy at work today.
peeing on this while you're peeing in an alley
No.
at the urinal.
Speaking of earlier, we were talking about going to St. Louis and how we don't go up that way very often. Because once upon a time, I was driving through one of the downtown streets and saw a guy walking through the middle of a park and with his junk out, peeing as he walked. And I was telling this story to a guy at work today, and he said, "Oh, I was in San Francisco, and you'd see guys all over the place in the middle of alleys and streets and stuff, just peeing all over the place." I'm like, really? In San Francisco? Like, that's not a city that I would have thought
But-
I would see that.
Are people just not able to hold it? I mean,
Or is it just the culture, like you're raised that way, to where it's just that's considered normal? I don't know.
at least there you go into the ocean, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
I mean, I remember a couple of weeks ago, my nephew, who's about 5, he came over, and we were out in the backyard, and he's like, "I gotta go pee." And he walks over to the edge of the woods and takes a whiz. And, you know, you laugh, but at the same time, you're like, you need to go inside. You know, there's a bathroom inside, because you got to teach it that you, or at least I thought you did.
Or else they'll grow up doing that at someone else's house. And
Oh, I've had plenty of friends that have done that.
you know, you're out just hanging out in the patio, and then he goes over to the corner. Are you peeing? Yeah. What's the problem?
We've all had that friend, Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy, nice to join you. Man, I don't think I really haven't
No,
anything else.
nothing else.
We've kind of.
Yeah,
I don't know how long we went, but
a little over an hour. We're right at an hour.
so, man, we had to start late though.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid traffic.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, now
Hey.
I gotta flip this over.
You know what we ought to add to these shows is, like, maybe it's at the beginning, but if anybody's still listening at the end, we need to remind people to go to stuckinbetapodcast.com and hit that donate button
Oh yeah, the donate button.
if they're finding any value or entertainment from this show, because it would help us out a lot. Help us to buy chips so we can do brackets. Help us out to buy beer so we can do reviews. And it would just let us know that
You love
like
us.
us.
Oh, I say love.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's been a great show. Join us next week for more chip showdown. I can't believe how many flavors they released.
Oh my gosh, it's insane.
That's got to be a lot. I mean, they already have a lot of flavors already, but in their factory they're going to release all these.
Well, yeah, but they don't stick around, right?
I don't, unless they win. Maybe these used to be you vote on. I don't know.
Taking some pics so I can add to the socials, Greg.
All right. Well, we ready to close this thing out?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, you got the button over here, remember?
Oh, yeah. All right. So it's been fun.
We'll see you next time.